The Chicago Bears take on the Detroit Lions on Thanksgiving Day. What is going on, y'all? Fox Sports Talk back at it with another video talking, of course, NFL. And here to break down the Bears matchup with the Detroit Lions on Thanksgiving. Give you guys my preview and prediction for this one. So if you are a fan of the NFL, fan of the Bears, go ahead, hit that big red subscribe button down below. It helps me out a lot. Make sure to follow me on my social media platforms, guys. Reach out, ask questions on there. And yeah, hit the bell icon so you're notified every time I drop a new video. Let's get into it, shall we? All right, here we go. I know it seems like all we want to talk about as Bears fans right now is the job status of our head coach, Matt Nagy. But there's still football left to be played. In fact, we've got a game on a short week here on Thanksgiving against the Detroit Lions. By the way, happy early Thanksgiving to everybody out there that's celebrating, man. Hopefully you guys have a great time with your friends and families. I know I will. So with that being said, taking a look at this game. All right. Short week against the Detroit Lions. The second time we're playing the Lions this season. We won the first matchup, but the circumstances are completely different this time around. All right. Detroit's at home. Detroit's coming off a tie against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So this was the best outcome they've had thus far. They haven't won a game. They tied. And the Bears are absolutely in shambles right now. 5 straight losses, longest active streak in the NFL. Head coach Matt Nagy basically on his way out, rumored to be fired after this game potentially. We're missing some of our best players. Justin Fields, our starting quarterback, is out for this game. Andy Dalton will be starting. Allen Robinson, I believe, potentially could be out for this game as well. I would lean towards him being out. He missed last week as well. It's a short week. I don't see him out there. Khalil Mack as well potentially. So you're talking about literally your top 3-4 players in this game not being available. And you're going up against a Detroit Lions team that, again, even though they're 0-9, momentum is a real thing. They are trending up. Their quarterback, starting quarterback Jared Goff, could potentially be back for this game. And so, again, what have I been saying about the Lions all season long? Even though I have picked them to win certain games and gotten burned, I've said this Lions team, even though they're winless, they play hard for their coach, Dan Campbell. They're not very good, but they play hard. And so that's a bad mix here when you've got a team that's sort of trending up in that right direction and a team that's completely going in the wrong direction, and they're meeting on Thanksgiving Day. Now, the spread for this game is -3.5. The Vegas odds makers say the Bears are still going to win this game. They're favored. But will they actually win this game? And here's where I'm at. Quarterback situation matters a lot in this one. If it's Tim Boyle out there for the Detroit Lions, that changes things quite a bit for me. I'm not saying Jared Goff is some elite quarterback, but again, he is competent, decent, average. Tim Boyle's a backup. But we just lost to a backup quarterback in Tyler Huntley. I'm talking about the Chicago Bears did. So maybe that doesn't matter as much. Either which way. Look, talking about the keys for this game, there's really only one key. All right? The Detroit Lions are awful, especially against the run. You run the football on the Detroit Lions team, you'll win. And so I want the Bears, again, knowing that we have Andy Dalton at quarterback, to get a steady dose of David Montgomery. He had a huge game last time we played Detroit. I think he had 2 touchdowns. Let's get him the football again. Rush the football. Put it in David Montgomery's belly and let him take it home for us, all right? I don't want Andy Dalton out there slinging the football 30, 35 times. I want it in David Montgomery's belly, and I want him to run all over this Lions team because every running back runs all over this Lions team, folks. Every single running back does. Go look at the numbers, all right? The other side of things here. For Detroit, I mean, the Bears are surprisingly better against the pass than they are against the run. So Jared Goff could be, utilizing T.J. Hockenson in the short intermediate routes, if you will. But DeAndre Swift has been unreal. Picking up chunk yardage. I had a monster game last week against the Steelers, and he's been racking up over 100 rushing yards the past couple of weeks. So DeAndre Swift could be a huge weapon for them, and he's a great receiving back as well. So the Lions could do a couple of things here. Basically, I'm going to base my prediction off of momentum here. And I'm giving you 2 scenarios. It's not a cop-out. Work with me here. All right? Work with me. Scenario number 1, Jared Goff plays. And I believe the Chicago Bears lose this game. I didn't want to do it, but I will do it. And hear me out, Bears fans. Remember, I always tell you, I have to be objective here. This game, I believe if the Bears lose, will seal the fate for Matt Nagy and get him fired. I believe that will be the last straw, losing to a division opponent who is winless and giving them their first win of the season. I can't think of anything more embarrassing than that. So if that happens, Matt Nagy gets fired. And I believe if Jared Goff plays, you take into account, again, the Bears aren't healthy, don't have their starting quarterback, receiver, defensive player, and they're on the road. Detroit just coming off a tie. They've got momentum. They'll get Jared Goff back. Dane Campbell's looking for his first victory. Thanksgiving week, Matt Nagy might get fired. He's got no motivation. The locker room is lost for the Chicago Bears. All of those things combined, and it makes for a bad formula for the Bears right now. And so that's why I'm saying I believe the Bears will lose if Jared Goff starts. And again, these division games tend to be a lot closer than you think. A lot closer than you think. So if the Bears do lose this game, I see them losing a very low-scoring game, about 17-13 Lions. But there is always a but. If it is Tim Boyle under center, the backup quarterback for the Detroit Lions, I see the Bears winning this game. I get it. They lost last week to Tyler Huntley, but folks, Tim Boyle had 77 passing yards and 2 interceptions last week. He's worse than bad. He's downright awful. He's horrendous. And so I believe the Bears, just from having a more competent quarterback, a defense that will be decent, and a running game that should be solid, will be able to pull out this game. And so I would essentially flip the score, maybe give the Bears a little bit more points here, 20 to 10, maybe something like that. If the Bears do win this football game, that is what I see happening. So 20 to 10, 17 to 10-ish. But again, 2 scenarios here for you. Jared Goff starts, plays, Bears lose. Jared Goff sits, Tim Boyle starts, Bears win. All right? And again, that's not a cop-out. That's just a situation. I'm recording this at the time that I am. And if Jared Goff does play, I would have made my prediction with that. But we just don't know yet. He's a game-time decision. So we'll see what happens here. Either which way, folks, keep in mind about this. All right? This game, the Bears lose this game, this will get Matt Nagy fired. I fully believe that. I fully expect that to happen. If the Bears win this game, which can happen as well, because the Lions are awful. They don't have a win on the season. And we just might give them their first win. If the Bears win this game, then Matt Nagy, I believe, remains the head coach for the entire season. He gets fired after that, but he stays as head coach for the entire season. So who wants that? So that's where I'm at, folks. Let me know what you guys think. I know, Fives, you really picked the Bears to lose against the Lions. I did. It's that bad for the Bears. I'm done with this season, and I'm done with Matt Nagy. So let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below. As always, thanks for watching.